Hey everyone, Dan here. We are a little after market close on Monday, March 8th, and I wanted to check in with a fresh analysis on some of the stocks that we've been keeping track of. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot, especially the subscribe button, so you'll just get these automatically. All right, let's start with GameStop. So GameStop had a really nice day today, sort of validated the chart that we put out a little over a week ago, which is indicated by all these blue lines. It consistently did a lot of price work and price action off of them, and the push that sort of sprung this whole thing loose this morning started from our 156 price zone. So I drew in these yellow prices right as it was leaving the 156 price zone and tweeted out and said basically like, here's what I think you can look for. As we see, that has sort of like proven out to be true, especially this top price point that I put in, the 193.85. So that's where we are fighting right now. I think that it's looking good. I mean, the thing that I've been saying for over a week now is even more true with GameStop, which is, when it was having all of this price action here, I was saying, that there's a big cushion of support under the price as it stands today. And so if there's a huge drop coming, you'll see it hitting all of the support zones underneath and falling through them. And yes, that should indicate something to you that, you might want to analyze and make a decision at that point. But you have so much breathing room in terms of like being able to catch that fall, that's, a really good place to be in. So now we're even more so in that realm. We added an additional 3 levels of support that are under where the current price is. So I don't even know what this is now, maybe close to 10 or 12 levels of support, because I have levels drawn in underneath that 105 that you see down there. So still feeling good about GameStop. I did feel very validated too, as I sent out the braggy tweet this morning that basically said, our prediction has come to pass that GameStop will see 200 before it sees 80 again. I've been saying that since last week, and that finally proved out today, and so I felt really good about that. I don't think that means we're going to race down to 80. I don't 100% know what the upside target looks like at this point. I will have another look at it and tweet out an analysis maybe at market open tomorrow, and then maybe do a video early on in the day tomorrow just on GameStop to try to figure out how things are happening. But it just needs to have some more activity up here to be able to figure out what's going on. All right, AMC. So the other thing that I've been screaming about with AMC for a week is that the most important price in AMC's life right now is 9/11. I've been saying this. You can go back in my tweets for the last week or so. So even when it was having all of this price action down here, in my video analysis that I put out in the last few days, I said these price points that it's bouncing off of right now, it does not matter, because unless AMC can establish support at 9/11, it's just going to fizzle out and sell off. And so we saw it run up to that point today and get stuck between that and our 931 level, and now it's fighting to hold that 911 level, which is exactly what it needs to do. That thing that I've been saying of 911 is its most important price for support at this point is still true, and that needs to be the case, or what I had said previously will still hold, that if it can't hold 911 as support, it's going to fizzle and sell off. So that's what I'm looking for from AMC. Sundial, we haven't looked at this in a few days since I put out the original analysis, but it fell through our price targets here. It continued to hit this 143 zone, and it just could never breach it. It just spent too much time not being able to breach that 143. And what happens, as we talk about a lot of times with double tops and double bottoms, signaling sort of a trend reversal. The other thing that happens is if it goes to the well too many times, it's just going to back away from the well, meaning the well of will people buy it will there be enough buying pressure at 143 in order to push it above? And there it went to the well here, went to the well here, here, and there just wasn't enough buying pressure. And so it got pushed off and fell. It tried to immediately trace back to this 127 that we had charted, and now it's even fighting to get itself back up there. So, I mean, it's not looking its strongest, that's for sure. It's definitely not looking as strong as AMC or GameStop at the moment. It has a ton of resistance points above it, and the support below it is below $1, like the really strong support. So it's not in great territory. That doesn't mean that it can't turn it around, but it absolutely will have to establish 127 as its first level of support if it's going to make any kind of run. And even then, it's going to be a really choppy run because of all of the resistance levels above it. I mean, that's pretty tough. All right, CCIV. So it's continuing to struggle. Hopefully the good sign here is that it started to hold this zone. So between our red and blue lines here. And so if it can push off, this red line here, then, 2294 becoming support gives us an opportunity to work ourselves back toward 30. But again, as we sort of saw with Sundial, it's going to have a lot of resistance points in order to get back to 30. Nothing has really changed in terms of like once it gets this like $30 support squared away, that nothing has really changed to make me think it wouldn't run up really quickly to this 41 level. So that's a nice potential future, but it's going to take a lot of like arduous work for it to get there. Palantir, has continued to struggle off of this yellow 2428 zone. It was doing it first thing this morning. Again, this is the 1 hour chart, so this was the first couple of hours of trading today. The other thing to keep in mind is Palantir, as you're trading it, has continued to do this double top, double bottom trend reversal to a T. So it did it here, that sent the reversal up, and then did it here, that sent it up, double topped, and it sent it straight down. I do think that it's left itself a bit of a gap here that it needs to fill probably, so I wouldn't be surprised if we run back up to fill that gap tomorrow. It'll just be a question then of what it does when it gets there, because that'll put it pretty much approaching the 24.28 price target again. And what's it going to do if it reaches that tomorrow or on Wednesday even? Is it going to bounce off and head back down? Because then you're going to see a similar situation where it's going to the well, going to the well, going to the well, and getting pushed off, and that's not going to sort of result in a lot of strength in the price. Mara, I actually took a position in Mara today for full disclosure. Mara fell through my green box, but my green box was basically indicating like my ideal buy zone, or where I thought that if it could push off that it's going to fly up to this box to fill this gap over here. The reason that I took a position though was I saw it bounce off of this 2804 level, and it looked like it was reacting well to me and establishing potentially some support there. It was like a riskier entrance point. It didn't feel as surefire of a thing. The other thing that I'm kind of relying on is that Mara has a pretty strong history of like really big percentage changes day to day. And so today it was down big. As you can see over the last several days, it's been down really big. So I'm counting on the fact that its sort of penchant for volatility will be a catalyst in it pushing back up. SKT, it's still sort of like respecting the levels that we drew in since we identified this critical double bottom. Bounced off here, bounced off here. I do think that we're in this like going to the well too many times situation again, where if this can't hold this 1657 level of support and start to interact with this 1770 price zone, that it's going to sell off even further because, again, it's gone to the well too many times and it couldn't get bought up, and push the stock price higher, and so it's going to just kind of lose any buying pressure that it does have, and people are going to be jumping ship, in my opinion. NNDM, we haven't looked at this one in a few days. I cut loss in this one, as you all know, but it's returning to this price target that we had drawn in, I guess a week or two ago now, this 804 level, which is a good sign, if you're bullish on the stock or trying to be long in the stock. This double bottom here and then this double bottom here, strong indicators that there might be an opportunity for it to hold this this zone at 804 and push off into the 9s. And then it's just going to have a lot of resistance points to get back sort of like stably into the 10s. So yeah, it's going to be a long road back, but if you sort of have the patience or are planning to hold it for a longer time frame anyway, then it's potentially a good entry point for you. I would keep an eye on it, during pre-market and at market open to see what it's doing and how it's reacting off of these price targets here to sort of determine if it makes sense to take a position. It still is a little too close to my cut loss, to like how recently I cut lost it for me to enter back in. I'm probably going to be looking for like double-digit entry point, even if that means that I missed the like $8 entry and I could have had another $2.50 a stock, $2.50 per share that I profited. That's fine. I think it needs a lot more strength in order to sort of be considered like a stable bullish stock. All right, well, that wraps it up for today. It was an exciting day, especially in the meme stock world. And again, if you're able to hit the subscribe button, you'll get these automatically, and it helps the channel a lot. And follow me on Twitter if you want sort of a more frequent update throughout the day. I'll put that in the link or in the description below. And that's all. So have a good rest of your night, and I'll see you all in the next video.